So this is going to be a bit different from my usual videos. Mostly it's just a bit of a annoyance on the sniper from Team Fortress 2, and why I think he is a very poorly designed class.
Loads of new ways to get killed by me.
Essentially, the problem that I have with Sniper is that he ignores the rules of the game. And he doesn't really have any super punishing weaknesses to make up for it. So if we look at the weaknesses that the sniper has, well, we can already see he has 125 health. This is certainly a weakness, even though 125 health is typically for classes that shouldn't be taking a lot of damage in the first place. Scout, Engineer, Spy, Sniper, all of these classes have reasons why they shouldn't be soaking up damage in the first place. But nonetheless, it's still a weakness. It's still worse to have 125 health than it is to have more. Another thing is mobility. Now, the Sniper, his move speed isn't too bad, it's 100%, which is, only 3 classes have higher than that, which is Medic, Spy, and Scout. But the problem is he doesn't have any real mobility options either. Like, Soldier and Demo Man may have slower movement speed, but they have explosive jumping to make up for it. The Pyro also has 100% move speed, but he has stuff like the flare jumps, his whatever his jetpack is called, and he has the power jack to run faster. Even the Engineer, who is a fairly slow, turtley class, can still use centric jumping, and can have movement options like using dispensers to jump onto higher areas. So the Sniper isn't that mobile, which is probably the biggest weakness he has. Also, when he scopes, he moves really slow, as you can see. His movement speed is heavily reduced when he is scoping. So, mobility and health are his two big downsides. And I would say his last downside is the fact that he doesn't have a reliable way to deal with multiple people. Like, this isn't a lot of people, but even then... Yeah, it's not that fast, whereas a class like Soldier, can just deal a bunch of splash damage, doesn't have to individually click on heads, like he can kill these 3 in relatively short time, especially if they're clumped together. Demo Man, both of his primaries are really good at this. If we get more of the bots to spawn in, come on. I mean, I shouldn't have to explain that, but... most of the classes, like, sentries aren't that great at dealing with multiple people, but because they're so rapid firing, they can do the job. Heavy's minigun has pretty high DPS and continuously fires, so it can still deal with multiple people. Demo and Soldier have their explosives, and Pyro's flamethrower is... I was not in the door. Pyro's flamethrower is one of the best at dealing with large groups of enemies because it doesn't really care. Like, all bunched up like this. There. That was a lot faster than what the sniper would have taken to do. So, these are all weaknesses that you have to keep in mind. I'm not going to try and say this class has no weaknesses, because it very clearly does have weaknesses. What are its strengths, though? Well, its biggest strength is ignoring the rules of the game. It doesn't matter how far away a sniper is. I can be at the end of this room, and I'll still be able to kill people in a single click. All the way over here, so far away, and he still dies just as fast. Well, sometimes he does, but like, it doesn't matter how far away he is. It does make sense, he's the sniper, but as you see, even up close, he still gets those headshots. It doesn't matter what range he is. He will kill you if he clicks your head, unless you have, you know, obviously more health than what he's doing, but very high damage in one shot. Whereas the Scout, 104 damage. Very impressive. Just come back here, 13 damage. We're nowhere near where, you know, Sniper was. 10 damage. 6 damage. Both of them took, you know, like, 3 damage at that range. It's nothing. But obviously you come up, and you do 104 damage meat shots if you press it up to them. Every single class in the game works under that logic. Let's even go to a weapon that was recently nerfed because of this. The Dead Ringer. I mean, not the Dead Ringer. The Ambassador. Now, a lot of people were complaining about the Ambassador's headshot range. Around here, you see, we don't even crit with that anymore. We have to go up here, and then we start critting. If we're back here, we don't crit with it if we land a headshot. But if we get a little closer, yeah. And obviously up close, 102. This gun used to do 102 at all ranges, even back where the Sniper was. However, Valve realized, wait a minute, that's stupid. It completely invalidated the stock revolver, and was just way too powerful. And now a lot of people say it's underpowered, and I can see that because it's not that much better than stock if you use it at aimbot levels. But, you know, you're not an aimbot. So, honestly, just minor detraction. I just remove the 20% lower damage and change it to 20% less damage on body shots. And I think that would fix this gun because it does not need a revert, despite what people say. Even classes like Soldier, which, you know, obviously you don't have bullet spread on Soldier, but wow, that was a really nice rocket jump. Very, very high skill. See how long that took? It did 48 damage as well. That took a really long time to travel. If this wasn't a bot and was a player and saw that, they'd have ample time to move out of the way and take 0 damage from it. Whereas, you know, up close, wow, 104 damage. Doing 100 damage with it up close, but up there you do 48 damage and it's easily avoidable. The reason I bring this up is because it essentially applies to every class. Medic is the only one that gets kind of an exception to it, where 40 damage up close, and if we go back, $75 damage. But even then, look at the travel speed for that. This weapon has 2 main downsides. It's really hard to hit at a long distance because of the travel speed, and it doesn't do a lot of damage up close. See, only 38 damage up close. So it has those 2 really big downsides. Which also makes sense. I mean, this is supposed to be a medic weapon, so it's not supposed to be the best weapon. So, you know, I'm not going to fault the sniper rifle for being better than the Crusader's crossbow as a weapon. It should be. It absolutely should be better than the Crusader's crossbow as a weapon. But I think it needs more downsides. Because as it is now, it scans. So as soon as you pull the trigger, no matter how far away you are, the hit registers. It will completely demolish people. And it comes to a point where when you fight another sniper, if you're any other class, The question is not, are you a better player? The question is he going to land the click on your head? If yes, you are dead. It doesn't matter what you do, if he lands that click, you're dead. If he doesn't land that click, you can actually kill him. But then again, even if you get close to him, if a scout body shots a sniper, 104 damage, a sniper will survive it. Scout won't survive that even though I'm pressed up close to him. So, mostly the problem in the community comes down to the fact that this weapon, I'm not gonna lie, it takes skill to use. It takes a lot of skill to use this weapon. And especially in pubs, that can leave a lot of snipers feeling very useless. Because after all, if I'm just doing this all day, that's not going to kill anyone. Nobody's going to die from that. People will die from that. So, the question is, how much of this are you doing, and how much of this are you doing? Obviously, I can't say there's zero counterplay. You have things like crouch jumping. You can even move your head in odd ways, and depending on the character, it can really move your head hitbox, move your arms in the way of the head. There are ways around it, but the problem is all of those ways is just increasing the difficulty for the sniper to make the shot. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You're making it more difficult for him to make the shot, so he has to either be a better sniper or get lucky to land it. I don't think that's good gameplay. I don't really think that's good gameplay, where all you can do is dance around like a ballerina, hope this motherfucker doesn't land the shot, because if he does, you're just going to fucking die. And if he doesn't, well then you can try to kill him. Unless you're, you know, far away, in which case he can take another shot before you can get close enough to be in kill range of him. So why do I bitch on endlessly and whinily about the sniper class? Well, because it essentially comes down to the fact that your only way to counter this guy is to not be on his screen. If the sniper is good enough, that is the only counter, because as I said, the only things you can do is make the shot harder for him. If he can still make those shots, then you're not doing anything. The only thing you can do to guarantee this guy doesn't one-shot you is to never be on his screen. And that's kind of a problem in a game like Team Fortress 2, where everyone is encouraged to do close-range combat. You have projectile speed that makes it easier to dodge projectiles fired at a distance. You have weapon spread making it so that, bullet spread making it so that less of your shots will hit if you're firing from a distance. Damage ramp up, damage fall off. All of these combine to say, hey, get close. Get real close. Because as we saw, even back here, this ain't close. This is not close. This is very far away. The sniper's ambassador doesn't even headshot. Projectiles take so long to reach someone, they can effortlessly move out of the way. Shotguns are doing 3 damage. Heavy takes a minute to kill someone. And about 5 times this distance, sniper is still just as effective. Which really goes into map design. How much open space are you going to give a sniper? I'd say this guy is the biggest challenge in making new maps, because you can't have too much open space or this motherfucker just goes hog wild. He becomes unstoppable because he breaks the rules of the game. And I get it, they wanted a sniper class because, snipers in FPS is pretty common. And you could say that he put some classes on, like, Watch, but, like, does Heavy need Sniper to keep him in check? No. No, he doesn't. Demo is pretty good at that. Spy could be better at it if Spy was a good class. But Heavy has a lot of other problems. I don't know if he really needs the Sniper class to keep him in check. Now, just to go over something that I'm sure people have already commented by now. If Sniper is as overpowered as you say, why isn't he one of the 4 main classes in 6v6 competitive? Which, you know, those 4 classes, for those out of the loop, is Scout, Soldier, Demo, and Medic. And the reason is because while he's powerful, he's very powerful, he's overpowered. Because his strengths are too high and his weaknesses aren't enough to tame in those strengths. The problem is, 6's competitive is about everything that Sniper doesn't want. It's a mobility meta, because obviously the first thing you want to do is get to the mid-fight. When you can get people to the mid-fight quickly, you will outnumber the enemy, you will win the mid-fight. If you can't get to the mid-fight quickly, you risk losing the mid-fight because you don't have your people at the mid-fight soon enough to actually matter. And that is a problem with Sniper. As I said, mobility is one of his weaknesses. So you can see how in a mobility meta, that's going to struggle. He's going to struggle with that. Also, yes, everyone in there is going to have mobility. People can close the gap on you very quickly. It's 6 players, so you don't have a large team defending you from this, which is one of the other problems that Sniper has. And, well, people are going to be good. They're going to know where you are. They're going to try and come after you in all different ways. It is the worst possible situation for a Sniper to be in. And he is still the most picked off-roll class in 6s. Honestly, that's more of a testament to how overpowered this guy is, that the game mode can be perfectly suited for him to not be viable in it, and he's just barely not viable. That is fucking crazy. In Highlander, on the other hand, game mode which is much more similar to 12v12 that the game was designed around, even though it's 9v9, this motherfucker takes over the game. Oh, the enemy Sniper is up? I guess you can't peek literally anything, or your medic is going to die. Oh, well, Demo, you want to do stuff? Well, sorry, the Sniper is, he's looking in that general direction, so if you come out to do something, you're going to die instantly. And there's nothing you can do about it, because everyone else is a class designed to fight up close, and you can't fight this guy at long range. Even up close, he can one-shot a lot of the cast. At range, he will just one-shot you. And yeah, it does. I do think it's a problem when a Sniper or a Spy is close to a Sniper and they just go, oh! You didn't see that. But, you know, they just turn around quickly and, oh wow, look. You know, obviously I'm not good at Sniper, but you've all seen the montages of, like, they turn around quickly and they actually shoot the head. Like, I'm not going to pretend I'm good at Sniper. I'm fucking shit at Sniper. One of my worst classes. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. So that means there could be a lot of bias in this video because it's not a class that I enjoy. And obviously if you don't enjoy a class, well, you're going to have lower opinions on it. But even then, I don't enjoy stuff like Pyro or Spy, and I think they're okay. But then again, neither of those are strong classes. They're considered the 2 weakest classes in the game, in a lot of serious competitive senses. Whereas the sniper is a very strong class. So, again, I could very easily be biased here. I just see the fact that he is way too strong for his own good. I would definitely want Sniper to get some big nerfs to him, but then I'd also be willing to see him buffed in other places, because my main problem with him is, again, he breaks the game. And that's kind of the theme of him, yes, but I still think you could do a long-ranged fighter in TF2 in a way that doesn't completely break the game. Like, I don't know, maybe make something like the Sydney Sleeper closer to his style, and then give him buffs in other areas. Just kind of fucking winging an idea. I just don't think he could be able to delete you from the game like that. At any fucking distance. That seems, that's very strong to me. Like, oh, you're just deleted from the game like that. And obviously, it takes skill. I'm not going to deny it takes skill, but I don't feel like something taking skill is justification for something being too powerful. I mean, because you're going to run into those problems, where eventually you meet a very good sniper and it feels absolutely helpless. Like, even with Banny on Soldier going around destroying an entire server, you feel like you can fight back. You feel like you can do something. When that god sniper enters the server and just deletes everyone, I'm surprised that wasn't a headshot. Anyway, when that god sniper comes on the server and just deletes everyone, that wasn't a headshot? Okay. It just feels hopeless. It feels absolutely hopeless to play against. When you have a really good heavy, it feels good. And the problem here is you can fight back. Because, again, if a heavy's up here, sure, he's going to delete you like that. If a heavy's even back here, that was killing a 125 health class, by the way. How long that took. Jesus Christ. And Heavy's a slow guy, so it's hard for him to get that close to you. You have ways to fight him. And even up here, like this demo can do 100 damage pipes. A demo can at least get off 2 pipes like at this distance. Right? So you feel like you can do something. You feel like you are having an actual fight, an encounter. With a sniper, you feel like you're trying to test his aim. You're not fighting him, you're testing his aim. So, I think that just comes down to it. He's strong. He's not fun to play against. I'll admit, for those that are good at him, I definitely see why he's fun to play. I can definitely see that feeling of power that he can give a player. I understand why he's such a popular class. But it's also to the point where it's not fun to play against him. Even with a sniper on your team, it can be hard to notice what he's doing for the team, even if he's doing a lot. Like, unless you check the scoreboard and it's like, oh, he's doing really well. Or if you're like in competitive and you're hearing every fucking call out he's doing, like med down, demo down, heavy down. Yeah, you don't see him on the field, but when you hear those comms, you know he's doing something. You know he's putting in some serious work. He's just kind of a weird class, because again, he doesn't operate by the rules of the game that everyone else does. Everyone else, the game is very simple. Get close to people. If you're far away from people, you're not going to do anything. Get close to people. And that's why mobility options in this game are so important. It's why the scout being able to get close, or the soldier being able to rocket jump in, or the demo being able to sticky jump in, it's why the heavy slowness is a very big weakness. Mobility is important because the distance at which you fight at is important. The distance at which a sniper fights at is only important in the fact that it can make him have harder shots. Because if you're really up close, yeah, the shots are hard. I'm not going to pretend they're not. They're hard. But they're no less effective. And that's a problem. That is a big problem. Because he's not weak close up, he's just unreliable close up. But not weak, because a headshot's still a headshot. He's not weak at a distance, he's very strong at a distance. Nobody else is. Even the demo, who's pretty mid-range, can't fight at a distance. There's a lot of not fun involved in fighting him, because you don't feel like you're fighting someone, you feel like you're just going, oh god, don't shoot me, don't shoot me, don't fucking shoot me, please, please miss. That's not fun. That's not a fight. I'm not shooting my weapon back at him. I mean, you can sometimes, but that can also be a bad thing, because if you're spending that much time trying to aim at him to get off, what, 3 damage with your fucking scattergun or shotgun, yeah, that's just more time for him to headshot you, and you're not actually doing anything to him, because who cares if you take 3 damage? Ugh. Anyway, I'm not sure this has been very coherent at all. I'm not sure if there's been that much of a point made. But, I guess I've just kind of wanted to get off my sniper hate off my chest for quite a while. So, you all have a good one, and don't do anything I wouldn't. So, you know, don't play sniper. And goodbye.